Hey everybody, welcome to Orlando, Florida. We're here at the premiere show at one of the hottest booths at the show. We're at Celeb Luxury, and we're here with my buddies, Brett Atkinson and Halston. Tell us your last name.
Point.
That's right. He says it better than I do. This is pretty cool. We're hiding the very special color that you've pre-done. And we love what you're doing here. You've been doing great color the whole show. So you want to just get right into it, what you're going to do with us?
Absolutely, yeah. So today, guys, we wanted to show you something a little bit different, kind of an older technique, but we've put a new spin on it. And the really cool thing is that with our Celeb luxury products, we actually have a color conditioner line that allows us to color the hair, condition the hair, and fix the hair as it sits. It is truly incredible. So today we're going to be using 3 different colors. We're going to be using our purple, the lilac, and the rose gold.
Absolutely. I mean, it's great that we're able to use a color that is in conditioner form that allows us to deposit color. And with our hybrid technology, we're able now to not only deposit, but we're actually using our Bond Fix technology to repair the hair as well as moisturize all at the same time.
So right now, guys, my first step, I'm going in and I'm going to shadow root completely with this beautiful purple. As you can see, we are getting complete saturation without really having to work for it, okay? This product is really working with us and not against us. We're not having to worry about any missed spots or any holes in our color.
How important is the base color?
I truly believe that doing this base color, because we are trying, the end goal with this look is to create a lot of movement where there is no movement. So as we know, our darker colors recede and our lighter colors are our highlights. So by adding this depth right at the root, it really just is drawing that eye in. Would you agree?
Absolutely. I mean, it's great that you're using a technique that is so simple and yet so traditional. To use a shadow root, it's a great way to introduce pigment and give your client that more natural feel, as well as giving you the background that will really cause those lighter colors to really pop against that head.
And I find too, guys, it's really nice for those clients that do have that darker natural root. When we do that shadow root, they are able to extend the life of their color a little bit more than, say, if we were to do a super light color right at the root.
Absolutely. People really don't want to see those harsh lines that we're so used to seeing in the past. It's great now that we're able to do shadow roots with colors like purple, blues, reds, those deep, really intense tones that even if they are a natural, level 4 or they're dark, as it grows out, it looks like the perfect color melt without having such a harsh, defined line.
Absolutely. I feel right now it's all about the blending. Everyone wants that super blended look that's just very, very easy to wear, no matter who you are.
So what is her natural color?
So Lexi here, our beautiful model today, was a natural level, what would you say, 6,
She was
7?
a 6.
And we were able to just go and lighten her, make it as clean of a workspace for us to put these colors on. We do suggest that when you are using the color conditioners or the color washes, that we are having the lightest blonde possible. We always say to get the V on the bottle, you do need to be that nice white blonde. That being said, if she was a little bit darker, we could really just use her underlying pigments and work with it to also create a beautiful, beautiful look.
Absolutely, but in Alexis's case, we were able to use our Flawless Diamond in our Gem Lights line to actually tone her at her root. Because she's a natural level 6, she had a lot of warm undertones, and to really get something that's going to be that metallic-y, very rich color, we wanted to kind of start with a clean canvas. So by using our Flawless Diamond, we shampooed it in literally 5 minutes, and we were able to create such a clean, even base.
And as we lighten, we all know that lightening is going to cause damage in the hair. We're compromising the hair's integrity. But now that we have the Bond Fix that is integrated into the color that we're putting on her, it is counteracting those negative effects of the lightening process. So she's sitting here and we are repairing her hair as her color processes.
Absolutely, and
How
you don't
cool.
need any more additives. You don't need any other bond rebuilder or anything that might over-proteinize the hair or over-keratinize the hair, because the bond fix is actually a sugar-derived bond. So there is no protein, there is no keratin. So we're not worried about it, being used overly or, under processing or anything like that.
Absolutely. So the next color we're going to go in is with our lilac. I'm going to melt the purple and the lilac together. I never worry with Celeb Luxury about mixing colors, what it's going to turn out as, if I'm going to have unwanted pigments. It just really is like butter and melts into each other beautifully.
Oh, yes.
So what we're going to do next after that is we're going to go in with that beautiful rose gold and create our shine line. So we are color melting into the rose gold. So my favorite technique when I'm working with two different colors like this is to use the palm of my hand and the back of my hand so that I can really just flip through those sections seamlessly without having to wipe my hands every single time.
Absolutely.
So for the rose gold, I'm going to use the back of my hand here. I'm going to go in and I'm just going to place that together. And then as simple as this, I'm flipping it over, putting that lilac back down here, and then finally melting it back into that nice deep purple at her ends.
Brett, you're doing very fine sections. Is that important?
I believe since we're doing a shine line technique, it is an abstract technique. So we don't want our sections to be perfect. It's not a precise technique or look. We really want it to look like that cascading shine going through her hair. So I find with the smaller sections, I'm able to create that variance a lot easier.
And I just want to say, if you guys have questions, we have somebody monitoring the questions. Thank you for joining us, and tell us, where are you watching us from?
Where's everyone from?
Yeah, where's
I'm
everybody
from
from?
Canada. Halston's from,
I'm from
New
New York.
York.
New Jersey.
from-
And
Jersey
and
in the house.
Jersey.
Now, what I love what Brett is doing here is by using her hand, she's creating a board. You don't need to have a traditional board or something heavy, another thing that's, taking up the space in your hand. And by using both sides of her hand, she's not melting the colors together or causing any kind of bleeding that would turn out to be a very, weird looking line. It's great. It's a great way to eliminate having to use a towel as often, because honestly, when doing colors, especially multiple colors of different tones, it's very important that your hands are clean and you're not mixing tones that may not mix well together.
That being said, another beautiful aspect of the product is that these colors are going to stay exactly where I put them. Because it is a conditioning product, the hair is actually going to absorb that. So I'm not worried about putting this section on top of this section. I know that these colors are going to stay exactly where I place them. And then when we go to the sink, I know that when I rinse, guys, we're not using cold water anymore. We're not freezing, no more brain freezes. We're able to rinse normally, and these colors are going to stay, and there's going to be barely anything at the bottom of that sink.
All right, and that's another question. How about a retouch? How do you retouch this?
Oh, wow.
So there's two different ways that we could retouch this. Most Vivid clients tend to switch their mind a million different times. So by the time they come back, they are ready for something brand new. However, if she was wanting to keep this exact same look, all we would have to do is go in, lighten her roots. I would put on just a little bit more purple and refresh the rest of the color. But the really cool thing with Celeb Luxury is we can now send our clients home with maintenance. So she can maintain a beautiful, shiny, colorful look. There's no more dullness. There's no more of that fade out that turns your hair a million different colors. When these pigments fade, they fade very, very true to themselves in the fact that they'll pastelify and then fade into nothing.
And I mean, it's great that you talked about being able to send them home with maintenance. Clients go home, they wash their hair constantly, and a lot of times, especially with Vivids, they tend to come out and fade very quickly. So with our custom mix bottles, you're actually now able to go in, send your client home with a product that's customized directly for her. So, for example, like today, we would send Lexi home with, a custom mix bottle with purple, lilac, and rose gold, in different ratios to allow to maintain the different variations of color that she has.
Absolutely. So for this one in particular, I would probably do a majority of lilac, that's gonna keep this nice purple really nice and deep. And then it's not going to do too much to the rose gold except for keep that lightness, keep that brightness.
Any tips for doing this on curly hair?
Oh, yes. So curly hair, it's very important that moisture is a factor in curly hair, and that's what's great about having the Bond Fix, is that we're actually now introducing moisture, color, and a bond rebuilder that is now going to allow that client to keep and maintain her curls. Even after pre-lightening, a lot of times the curl structure is changed, it loosens out, and then you get a very uneven structure. But now because after the lightening process, we're now going back in with our color conditioner, and we're applying that Bond Fix technology, which is repairing those bonds that have been broken. So when Lexi goes home and shampoos her hair, her curls are back to a healthy, natural, soft pattern that it was to begin with.
A lot of my clients in the past, you'd be almost afraid to lighten them to a color like this, which makes it so much easier for putting these bright, vibrant colors on, because we were compromising the integrity of their hair. Now I can confidently have a client come in, lighten them once, maybe twice in some parts to get a nice, even slate for us to work with. And then with that Bond Fix repair, they're actually able to leave the salon with healthier hair than when they walked in before I lightened them. And I think that in itself is groundbreaking.
It really is.
It really is.
Okay, so here's another question. She is pre-lifted, obviously.
Yes.
If it was a client who has very pale, natural hair, how will the color take differently?
Well, with pale natural hair, it's great because you have the lightness factor there. But what you're missing is that cuticle being open. For a very good color deposit, you want to have a little bit of a lift to that cuticle. So because our product is not mixed with developer or anything like that, it's important that you can go in with either a clarifying shampoo to kind of open up that cuticle gently, or if you feel so strongly, you can go in with a lightener and a low developer such as a 5 or a 10, just to kind of give you that little bit of opening that allows that color to now penetrate. Our color delivery system is very different, and like Brett stated earlier, the color does dry in the hair because it is a conditioning product. So what happens is the hair is absorbing that product, allowing it to give that almost dry feeling to the touch, so we're not worried about melting or bleeding or anything like that. But again, it is driving the pigment directly into the hair.
Okay, hang on. We have a question from Modern World. Jasmine?
Alrighty, so from Portia Willis, do you straighten coiled textures before applying the color service?
Sorry, could we repeat that?
Do you straighten coiled textures before applying the color service?
Do we straighten the hair? I just really believe in a good round brush and a good blow dry. That
Absolutely.
can generally get people fairly straight. The really beautiful part about this is because we're using an actual conditioner that's coloring, I'm not too worried about closing that cuticle. So I love to go in with one of our stylers, one of the smoothers, and just use that. It detangles, you're getting the humidity resistance, you're getting the heat resistance, and it is just a really beautiful it just kind of makes everything even and nice. My colors aren't going to grab in certain spots. Like, you're just going to get a nice, beautiful, even color that way.
And especially on curly hair, it's very important. You don't have to do the perfect straightening that people expect, such as how Lexus's hair is straightened. You don't have to do that. What you want to do is, like Brett stated, a round brush, a paddle brush. You just want to get that hair 100% dry. And honestly, it's so much easier to work with hair that is combed through, even. There's no tangling. There's no options for those curls to, not absorb the color. So by stretching the curl, it allows you to go through easier, apply, and know that you're not missing any spots.
Yes, although we are, like I had mentioned, doing an abstract technique, it is way easier and it is going to be way less work for you in the end if that hair is straight. Even though we're abstract, we are working in very, very clean sections and very tiny sections. So with straight hair, it's easier to just keep that system going all the way down.
All right, so I have a question for Halston. What about trend for 2018, from summer to fall? What do you see as trend?
Oh my gosh. Well, the trend right now, honestly, from what I see, is like a rainbow. Everybody wants a lot of multiple tones in the hair. It's not about just that flat one single tone. I mean, the purples, they haven't died, but what's happening is they're coming back with adding new tones, such as today. We're adding rose gold. I see people adding greens, turquoises, magentas, all these different tones in one head. And by using such an abstract technique such as the shine line, or faceting or anything like that, you're actually allowing movement and introducing dimension into the hair where dimension never existed. Even natural hair has lots of dimension, and people want that more natural. They want to look like this grew out of their head. So by introducing, the different tones, you're putting dimension, no matter if that hair is straight, curly, wavy, and anything in between.
All right, I want to ask about this bottle that everybody's grabbing this bottle. So
Yes.
tell us about this.
Oh my gosh. So this is our new color mix bottles. What this will allow you to do is take either our color wash lines, either viral or gem lights, intermix them to achieve whatever custom tone you can possibly create in your head. But you can also do this with color additioners. So like we said earlier, Brett is going to send home a client such as Lexi today, and she's going to intermix in the back. You're allowed to see where, if you want to do a ratio of 1 to 2 or 1, 2, 3. And it's so simple. Your name goes right on the front. You can either use your name, your handle on Instagram, Facebook, whatever it might be. You put the exact instructions for your client. So when he or she shampoos in the shower, they know how to use this. They know, okay, I went to Brett yesterday. I went to her 3 months ago. Ooh, it's time to go back. And all of that is right here on the front of the bottle. It's
and
a
not
great
only that, but
marketing
those
tool.
Snoopy people that snoop around your bathrooms when they come over,
Oh, yes.
they're going to know exactly who does your hair.
And it also keeps retail in the salon.
Absolutely.
Oh my gosh. I mean, this really made it so simple for me. I was not the biggest retailer, but by being able to customize my own color mixes, I am so confident in this, and my clients are confident in the product as well. So it's a great way. It's an upcharge to a ticket. It is a new service that other companies have not come up with yet. It's so great.
And what person wouldn't want to say, I've made this exclusively for you. No one else is ever going to have this.
No.
This is yours. That's something they can't find anywhere else but from you.
What would you recommend people charge for that?
I'm from Canada, so I don't know.
Well, traditionally, I believe in the rule of 2. So if you are purchasing our products for whatever price it is, you double that. But for the custom mix bottles, I say you maybe even want to tack on an extra 25% or an extra 50%. So for example, in my salon, I charge 45 to 50 depending on the colors that I'm mixing and the amount.
Absolutely. There you go.
All right, and then while we're here, I want to talk about your hair color. What's everybody got going on?
I'm going to switch. Halston's going to do this back quad for us.
All right,
So
your
I'm
formula.
so glad you asked. Just because we are able to mix, as long as you're mixing a color wash with a color wash, and color additioners are separate, but I use from the Gem Lights line and from the Viral line. So to wash my hair, I use the Flawless Diamond. That's the anti-yellow whitening. That goes in and gives me that, just cuts all of the brass out of my level 5 hair. But then I add a little bit of purple in that, just to give me that little bit of tinge. And then I always color addition with the lilac. Yeah.
Halston, what do you have going on there?
Oh my gosh, I've got a lot going on.
Can you just take a look at the back of Halston's hair? Look at this beautiful leaf design. So, and that was so simple for him to do.
Yeah, I mean, it was great. I had my hair cut with the design prior to this. I'm a natural level 4. We pre-lightened. We got me to a pretty warm 9, I would say. I toned with the Flawless Diamond, which really knocked out a lot of the yellow and that underlying pigment. And then we actually went in majority of my head, we did a custom mix of our silver color additioner and our lilac, which was the lilac was actually able to neutralize a little bit more of the warmth, giving me more of that soft, buttery look. And then we went directly into the leaf with our green color additioner. And then we did a slight hint of our yellow color wash, which just added that little flair that everybody's looking for.
You know, you guys at the booth here, and it's such a lovely booth. You have these wonderful mannequins with great hair color. Which ones are people loving? Which hair colors are people?
Yeah, my personal
drawn
favorite
to?
from the summer collection is this beautiful lady over here, the Watermelon Kiss. The really genius part about this is that all of our wonderful models have a t-shirt with the exact formula, the level that we started her at. They went in with the coral and the magenta color additioner right at the root, and then the rose gold at the ends.
I don't know if you can see this. I want to move it over, but I know I'm going to end up with an arm. Can you see this? Can you guys see the, where's Tank? Tank ran away. All right, can you see this on here? It's wonderful. But throughout the booth, they have all these mannequins with the color right on. It's pretty cool. And if you're here at the show, make sure you come by this booth. Where are we? What row are we?
We're right through the main entrance, guys. You cannot miss us. And this beautiful screen.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, yeah, talk about the screen.
Yes, look how big this is, guys. Anything and everything is on this screen. It is beautiful. Right now we're showing our Gem Lights color wash line, but super exciting. You guys asked for it, so they're launching it. Soon there will be Gem Lights color additioner.
Ooh, can you give us a little sneak peek of what we're expecting to see?
There is a silver diamond that will blow your mind. And all of those have that bond fix technology built right into them. So for all of those natural clients, we now have a color additioner especially for you.
And you said when is that coming out?
Soon.
Nice. Nice. Jasmine, any questions from our friends out in modern land?
Alrighty, so Aaron says, how do you keep blues from fading to green?
Pardon?
How do you keep the blues from fading to green with our product?
Oh,
How
I'm
do you
so
keep the
glad
blues?
you asked.
Yeah, that's a good one. How to keep the blues from fading to green?
You never have to worry about that with Celeb Luxury. Our blues do not fade to green. They are so true to their pigment that they will pastelify and then turn into nothing. The blue, I have had a 6-week fade out in the blue at the root walk through the salon, and she looked at me and said, I just got complimented on my hair on my way in. It was a gorgeous baby blue.
And Jasmine, where are people watching from?
We've got from many places. I can give you right here. So we've got Leah from Wisconsin, Oklahoma.
Hi, Leah from Wisconsin.
Chrissy from Oklahoma.
Oklahoma.
Adam from Buffalo, New York.
Hey,
Shauna
Buffalo.
from Wyoming. Rain from Kentucky. We have Chicago here, you guys. West Michigan, Jersey, Boston,
That's
Wyoming,
incredible.
and many more, guys.
Thank you
Thank
guys
you for
so much
joining
for
us.
tuning in. We love that you're here with us. You can see here, if you've just joined, that we are going in and we are actually doing a color melted shine line on our beautiful model Lexi today. We're using the purple color additioner, the lilac, and the rose gold to just make this beautiful color. You can see it's starting to come together. I cannot wait to reveal it.
Absolutely, and just to go over what I'm doing over here is just putting in a shadow root with our purple. What this is going to allow us to do is to really melt into a more natural look and allow for that deep tone that people want to see. They want to see that dimension, and a great way to get
Yes.
dimension is, of course, mixing different lightnesses.
Especially for those clients that would typically those lighter colors would kind of, wash them out a little bit. The people that are scared to be blonde because someone told them it washes them out. Doing a shadow root like this and adding that depth right around her face cancels out that problem completely.
Okay, and then again, shampooing this, how do you keep the colors, I mean, you want them to melt anyway, but how do you keep them more defined?
Defined. So we never have to worry with the color additioners. Our colors, they're not going to melt together after we rinse them. We melt them together. We decide where they go. And even as she shampoos, I would probably suggest for her to be shampooing with the Flawless Diamond. That's going to keep our purple very true. And the same with the lilac. So everything will stay exactly where we intend it to stay.
Right, and what is your preferred terminology? I've heard color melting, color melding, root shadow, shadow root. What do you guys say?
I like melting.
I like the word melting.
Yeah.
If anything, I like just to say like a soft melt.
Okay.
I know I'm going to throw another one in there, but yeah, melting
Yeah.
is a pretty standard word.
And especially, I like melting because with this product, that is literally what you can do. You can just melt them into each other, and they create a beautiful, almost color baby with each other. I'm never worried about colors touching. As you can see, we're able to create those beautiful, beautiful hybrid colors just by kissing them together.
Okay, and then what about shadow root or root shadow?
I'm a shadow root. Or what are you?
Oh, I'm a shadow root.
A shadow root. A root
Yeah.
shadow. I guess that, yeah, that makes sense
I know.
though.
And you know, and we should point out that our model is also a hairdresser, yes?
Yes.
And tell us about yourself.
I'm Alexis. I'm from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and I am currently living in Fort Lauderdale, and that's where I found Celeb.
And do you say root shadow or shadow root?
I say shadow root. Sorry, I couldn't say.
Shadow root.
How
But I
can
guess you
people-
are shadowing the root. I love that.
I know,
Yeah.
and I want to know how everyone can follow each of you, so we'll start with you.
Mine is at the Hair by the Mermaid herself.
All right, Brett,
I'm at Caffeinated Colorist on Instagram.
you changed it recently,
I
right?
did, yes.
She
It's here to stay,
reinvented.
though.
And I'm at Hair by Halston.
Oh, that's cool.
Right?
yeah.
Hair by Halston.
Oh yeah, had to keep the designer alive.
Okay, do we have any other questions from the audience? We have a nice audience here or out in Modern Land. Anything you guys want to know? Nothing? Okay. I'm sorry, we have a question.
We have tons of brochures. Yes, feel free to come into the booth, do some shopping. We have swatches here so you can see exactly what the colors look like.
And to follow, to find online.
Yes, you can go online at celebluxury.com. We are in Cosmoprof. And our Instagram is amazing. I would say almost all of the content is user generated. So you are seeing those exact results. Not only that, but we give you the level of hair you started with, the exact colors we've used. All of the formulas are there for you.
All right, and then we have Jasmine.
Questions.
2 questions.
Okay, so for Abigail, she says hi from Colorado. Does the ink work from people that can lift to a level 9, 10? So does our product work for people that can lift to a 9, level 10?
That can't?
9, 10, a level 9, 10.
That
A
can
level
lift?
9, 10, yeah.
Yeah. So we lifted her to, I would say, probably a 9. In lots of parts, it is a 10. It was perfect for that. You just remember all of your color theory. Remember the color wheel. So just because if you can't get to a 9, 10, that doesn't mean you can't put that purple on a level 6, 7. If you get it lifted to that even, that would be gorgeous. The magenta is gorgeous. One of my personal favorites is probably like a level 8 or a very warm level 9. Putting that rose gold on that just creates a beautiful, beautiful true rose gold.
And I love what you're doing, Halston. We'll get to the second question, but Halston, you're really kind of playing around there.
Oh yeah. I mean, this is one of my favorite ways to like really melt colors together by using just 2 fingers, and especially in a situation like this where we have 3 different colors on one head, you have 5 fingers. So we can use, you know, whichever combination works for you. And it's a great way to not have to use the towel as much. I mean, for the most part, like we said earlier, you know, I clip a towel to the side of my cart just to make it a little easy for myself. But when I don't have that option, again, just using your fingers really makes it very, very simple.
And I want to point out that her hair is done on the other side. So once they're done applying it, we're going to turn her around so you can see the big reveal. And Jasmine, you said there was another question?
Yes. For Kristen, she says, sorry, just one moment. She says, how do you achieve a silver gray without bleaching? She has a level 9 right now.
All right, so someone with an existing level 9, she wants a silver gray without bleaching her hair.
If she has been pre-lightened, like in the past, we could go in. If you start using that flawless diamond, the beautiful thing with the color washes is that the more you use them, the more effect you're going to get, okay? So we can go in with the flawless diamond. If she wants a true silver, we have a beautiful silver in the viral color wash. And these are the most user-friendly product in the world. So all you would have to do is go in, do a wash with the silver, let's say, wait until that lather goes completely white, and you know that that product has done everything it's going to do. We don't have to wait the 20 minutes, nothing like that. We rinse it out. If you found maybe the silver in that first wash just kind of cut the warmth out, you're wanting a little bit more depth, you go in right then and there, do another quick wash, again lathering until it goes white, and rinsing it out. It's that simple. No more waiting. 5 minutes. Color wash.
And that, you know, that was actually, Abigail, that was my question too, because I have a friend who is prematurely white. She was white from age 40 on, and she says, I really want to have pink hair, but she already has existing white hair, and you said she really has to do something first, right?
Yes, well, especially if you have gone to that mature side of the hair, like if your hair has gone to white, gone to gray, that is the most resistant, right? Like your cuticle is very compact, so it does need to be scuffed up a bit because we're using ColorPosit technology. That color is going up, it's not penetrating into the cuticle, but it's going up and sitting up underneath all of your cuticles. So you do need to allow the product to do that for it to rest.
What are the biggest questions you're getting throughout these?
I would say the number one question is how long does it last?
Absolutely.
And again, twofold answer there. Most of my clients are the ones that want magenta hair. 6 weeks later, they want blue hair. I know that it's on two very different ends of the spectrum. So I send them home with something that's going to maintain the luster, the shine, and the brightness of the color, and we let it naturally pastelify and fade out until their next appointment where we can go in and easily put on whatever they want. But then on the other flip side, if, for example, like myself, I want to maintain exactly this, I custom mix the Flawless Diamond and the purple color wash, and so I am using that every time I'm washing my hair, so my hair is always this color unless I decide to change it. What would be another question that we're asked all the time?
Ooh, what is another question? Oh my gosh, a great question is, how am I gonna get my hair to feel better?
Yes.
What do you have for my client who is extremely dry, porous? She probably has a lot of damage.
Yeah.
I mean, I love the fact that we have Bond Fix. And one thing that I actually recently discovered is that with one use, you're actually going to repair that hair. Of course, it's going to feel 3 times stronger than previously. But if you don't feel like you got enough of a punch, enough moisture out of that, guess what? You go on top of it again a second time. And we're doing this all at the shampoo bowl. It's so simple. It takes no more than 5 minutes.
Because our Bond Fix isn't a keratin, it isn't a protein-based treatment. It is going in positively charged and literally attacking those negatively charged spots in our hair. So when we put that on the hair that first time, it is literally going in immediately and filling in, like a pothole filler, filling in all of those damaged areas. So if we want that really, really like slipping smooth, we can just go in again and do that again. All that's gonna do is make the hair 3 times stronger. We can use it as much as we want. It is not going to over-keratinize. We're not going to over-proteinize. It's going to condition all of our healthy hair.
You guys are doing this without a board. Would there be any advantage to using a board, or would there be a disadvantage to using a board?
I think it all depends.
It all depends on you as a colorist. If you're comfortable with the board and that's something that you use regularly in the salon,
Yeah.
I say go for it.
Absolutely. For
But-
me personally, I like to feel. I use my hand because I can feel that color. I know when I have that perfect saturation. I feel with a board, you never really know. So for me, it's just easier. And like he said, when we get going, we get going. We don't have time for all of these tools.
Yeah.
And I should point out that, Halston, between each color, you're wiping your hands on a towel.
Yes.
So it's important to have a towel nearby so
Absolutely.
that you're
Absolutely.
not contaminating. Well, that's a bad word.
No, well,
You're
no,
not
you're absolutely
contaminating.
right. You're absolutely right. You don't want to, cause any bleeding or unwanted melting that you never, expected.
Yes.
So it's important to have clean hands, and it's very, again, it's great that we have clips, we have carts. I stick a wet towel in my apron, and I work
There
with
you
it,
go.
and it's amazing.
Any other questions, Jasmine? Okay. No, alrighty. And you guys feel free. Celeb luxury people are monitoring. We'll be answering your questions, but we have someone monitoring right here. So if you have something you want to have answered live, we can have our experts here take care of that. And again, Halston, you're using very fine sections.
Oh, yes. I mean, just like you would do with a traditional foil or any kind of very meticulous color application, thin sections are important. They don't necessarily have to be credit card thin, but you do want to know that you're really pushing that color into every strand in between.
And I think it's important to just point out here, now that we have quite a bit of it done, you can see where we've started to dip our shine line down, because we didn't want it to be straight across. Because of her other side looking so gorgeous, we really wanted it to be a cohesive look. So just by changing our angle slightly, we're able to just play around with that look. So your options are endless.
And I mean, that's the beauty of a technique like a shine line or a color melt. I mean, it's very similar to balayage. You're painting hair.
Yes.
I mean, it's a great way to introduce dimension, movement, and you're gonna bend and move with the shape of the head. So if we know that she has a cowlick or a natural part, we go with that. So I know when she pulls her hair in front of her shoulders, you have that dimension this way. But if she pulls it up into a ponytail, she's got the dimension in that
Yes.
way too.
All right, so Brett, I'm going to ask you for trend, what you see as the biggest trend for 2018.
I believe that 2018 right now, it is all about artists pushing the boundaries. We're seeing people spraying hair with color. We're getting marbled effects. We're seeing tie-dyed hair. We're seeing people painting over tape on hair. It's all about that abstract, that look that you're gonna see on the street that's gonna make you go like this. Did I actually just see that? It's all just about pushing the boundaries right now.
Where do you go for inspiration?
Where do I go for inspiration? Of course, I love to go to Modern Salon and look at. No, I draw a lot of inspiration from nature. I'm super inspired by sunsets and sunrise. I believe those create the most beautiful colors. I'm so fortunate to be with Celeb Luxury and traveling constantly, and it doesn't matter where I go. There is some other sunset, some other different color, rainbows. To me, if I could have everyone with a full head of rainbow hair, I would.
What about someone who wants to be on the Celeb Luxury team and
Yeah.
educated for Celeb
Yeah,
Luxury?
it is so much fun. Let me first tell you that. Halston and I have been able to travel to Chicago and LA. Lexi and the whole team, we went to San Jose. It was incredible. We're here in Orlando. So if you do want to join the team, I strongly, strongly suggest you to do so. And you can reach out to Dawn or Carla via Instagram and just say, hey guys, I love your product. I love the vibe. I love the energy. I want to be a part of your team. That's what I did. I took a chance and literally was that person that messaged them on Instagram, and here I am.
Well, you know, I've known Leland, who's the founder of Celeb Luxury. I've known him for decades, and he's a true genius when it comes to
Yes.
color. I mean, he is somebody who's in there formulating and really knows what he's doing. So I'm just so
Yes.
happy for you. And I should point out that the people, Leland, this is for you. The people that work with you say they love working with you and they love coming to work every day.
Absolutely.
So that's
Hi,
a really
Leland.
nice thing. Oh, see, everybody on your team is nodding their head. So that's a shout out to Celeb Luxury.
I personally always knew that I wanted to get into the education side of things. For me, it was a matter of finding a product that I could stand behind and believe in. And I truly stand behind and believe in Celeb Luxury. We're vegan, gluten-free, sulfate-free, paraben-free, PPD-free. We're UE, FDA safety compliant, cruelty-free. It's a very safe and honest product to use.
All right, and while I have you here, what are the biggest challenges that from your clients? What are the questions they're asking you regularly?
They ask about the fade out. They want to know what is going to happen in 3 or 4 weeks. And sending them home with the custom mix bottle, they never have any other questions. I've had 3 or 4 clients that have come back and they're like, when can I get more of this? How do I get more of this? Come right back to the salon.
Yeah.
All right, Jasmine has a question.
Alrighty, so Savannah says, so is this a color refresher or does it just last up to 6 weeks, or do you have to use the color conditioner every day?
The question is it a color refresher or permanent color?
Lasts up to 6 weeks, and do you have to use the conditioner every day for it?
Do you have to use it every day? Does it last up to 6 weeks?
Yes, no. It can be used absolutely as a maintenance product. If you do a beautiful balayage, or if you have that vibrant red hair, because we know that red hair fades so fast, we can be sending our clients home with the ruby red or the viral red for maintenance. It's gonna last. It depends really on the porosity of your hair, just like any other direct dye that you're using, how often you wash your hair, stuff like that. And you don't need to use it every single time. If you're walking out of the salon, their client is absolutely loving their hair, we strongly suggest alternating. So one wash you would do with the Celeb product, the color conditioner or the color wash, and then the next one you would use our moisture wash or our shine wash, just to alternate. Because they are pigmented, you will get that depth. So, and it's really up to you. Engage your color brain. The options are endless.
So you guys did this together. I mean, this had to be important that you were on the same page, because if he's putting it in a different place.
Yes.
When you are working with another artist, how important is that to coordinate beforehand?
Very important, and I believe the three of us have such a strong bond. We were so fortunate enough to be on each other's wavelength from day one. I trust these people explicitly. I would go blind and they could tell me left, right, and I would trust them. And we just have such a love. When we are planning a project like this, we make sure that we're just so all passionate about it. We all want to do it. It's all going to be fun. And then we have so much fun doing it. It's not work.
Nice. That's so nice. And I know Halston's finishing up, and I know you guys are waiting to see the reveal.
Yes!
It's right on the other side, so hang in there. We're not going to bother him anymore with questions.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Anything else, Jasmine? Where are people from? Any new people joining us?
We have some from Dubai,
Hi, Dubai.
New Jersey,
Hey, Jersey. Maggie.
and as far as that, just that.
That's so nice.
That's
And again, thanks for
awesome.
joining us. That's
We're-
great.
North Carolina. Rhode Island.
Which is your favorite of the mannequins? Which one is your favorite?
I love Watermelon Kiss the most, but I do love this Coachella cognac back here. She is just all kinds of feisty, all kinds of wonderful, and that was done using the Gem Lights line.
And on curly hair.
And on curly hair, right? So, are we...
I actually just need out.
It's okay, yeah. I think we're ready. We can do the reveals.
All right, so we're
Everyone
gonna do
dying
the
to see
reveal.
it.
We're going to spin her around and show you it's beautiful.
Let me just fix her up.
Like, shine her up a little bit.
Okay, 1, 2, 3.
Woo!
All right, can we see this? Oh. Look at that movement, guys. We can see, you can see why we did the melted technique, so that our purple slowly faded into that beautiful rose gold, and then down to that purple at the ends. When you're doing a look like this, you can tell our eyes are immediately drawn to a million different places, and that's how we create movement and dimension.
Is it important that she not shampoo her hair for a while?
No.
I always suggest to go as long as you can. That just allows the cuticle to really just settle itself down, and then you'll just get the best wear out of it.
That's really beautiful. We'll just, oh my goodness. And underneath,
Yes.
It's really lovely.
Yeah, so you can
Nice
see
job.
how she starts up at that high point, and then as the shine line comes down all the way to the back, we're quite low. So since we mirrored that on the other side, it's going to be a beautiful V into the bottom.
And it's really cool because, especially with the shine line technique, especially the one we've done here today with the color melting, it is a great thing to use different shapes. So as I was applying our lilac and our rose gold to create our shine line, I was almost moving them in different
Yes.
triangular shapes. Because what that will allow is movement. Even when the hair is straightened, it will just have that same movement. It'll be an up and down effect. Your eye will never focus on one harsh spot. Because again, harshness just doesn't seem to be where the trend is anymore. It's more of a soft pop.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful, it's shiny, it's healthy. Well done, you guys.
Thank
Thank you
you.
for doing this. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Thank you for the crowd here. This was so much fun. Again,
Yes.
Celeb Luxury. What's the website?
It's celebluxury.com. You can find us on Instagram and Facebook at Celeb Luxury. And listen, we want your content. We post user-influenced content. No filters, no extra stuff. We want to see what you're using our product to create, because that's what's the trend is. That's what's going to create that trend, is by what you create in Salon or in your place of work.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you,
and
guys.
you.
Thank you
All right.
so much.